All right, it's preparing.
Yay, it's gone.
Okay, I believe we are live.
Yay.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you, my dear?
Hi, good. How are you? Let me see.
All right, let's do a couple of things here to make sure everything is spick and span on YouTube. Bear with me just a moment. And let's see, here we go. Yes, there we are. And let's turn down that. Okay, I believe we are live. Okay, we made it. We made it. This has been a doozy of a week, you guys. I'm Zinjen, and this is Elizabeth. She's going to join me today as we unveil. I have had to keep my cotton picking hands off of this all week long since I received it because, oh my gosh, it's like so exciting. My kids have been like, are you going to open up that package, Mom? Are you going to open it? I'm like, no, stay away from my tarot. This is my Tarot of Ra deck from Rex Bear from Leap Project. He was so kind to send this to me. And I asked Elizabeth to join me because she is one of the most angelic frequencies that I have had the pleasure of encountering and interacting and syncing with in real time in the virtual landscape. And she's going to bless this deck for us today, right before I unveil it for our collective. Are you ready, Elizabeth? Are you ready to do your magic?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, me too. It's going to be so exciting. You told me to go and get my amethyst angel. You actually asked me to grab some selenite, which I couldn't locate it here in my little closet office, but this amethyst angel has brought me supreme guidance through quite a few different turmoils, and I'm excited that this amethyst angel is overlooking us as we embark upon this adventure.
Yeah, it's got a really calming frequency, that angel does.
Yes, it does. My husband got that for me.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. I'm going to start unveiling this. I'm going to start undoing the wrapping here.
Yeah.
And just to give everyone a little bit of background on you, Elizabeth, you are an energy healer and you have this. So where we first met was on Feel Good and on his live, right? And he immediately said, before you said a single word, he was like, oh my goodness, you have this angelic aura about you that I just feel so calm and soothed in your presence. And yeah, like that was why I wanted you here today, because what I aim to ask our guides and all of the energies in the ether that are helping us along our way of understanding as a human collective is some kind of tough concepts like the emergence of AI and this chip that has come out that has it's created a ripple in the ether with a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty. And I always feel as though you have this real amazing way of just infusing light into the situation, not negating the darkness, certainly not. You integrate the two and reconcile them as one, like just one incredible frequency of understanding. And I just wanted you to join me today as I unveil this and we do this card pull for the collective. So I'm going to mute myself for a moment and I'm going to let you do your thing while I unwrap this card deck. Okay.
Okay. I can't wait to see.
We're going to drop a link for the Tarot of Ra in the comments of this live stream. And I'm also going to check in with anyone who's joining us while I am.
Yeah, we do. We have some comments. So I've been waiting.
Yay, we sure
Hi,
do. Guys. Gypsy, JJ, hello.
Hello.
And Seeking Nirvana. Oh, that is Nicole. Nicole is in our she's in our little orbit. Yes. Hi, Stuart.
Love her.
Oh, and Okay, I know Rex is getting ready for a trip out, but I hope he knows this is happening. Yes, he does. I know that he is a busy person, and yeah, he wasn't even sure if I'd received it yet. So
Hey,
it's
Rick.
Hey Rick, thank you for joining us. Oh, I'm so excited. We have a room full of love, you guys. A room full of love. Okay, I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to be dropping some links for both the Tarot of Ra deck and for Elizabeth and her beautiful healing services that I absolutely recommend if you feel called to connect with her.
Yeah, so um, I'm Elizabeth Knittel, and I am an energy healer and spiritual mentor. And I do have I work with Jenna's one of the amazing souls that I get to work with, and have really enjoyed getting to know her over the past, like 6 months or something. So um, I do a energy healing every week, and I have a membership. So if that's something that you're interested in, and we'll do a little bit of that on here just to show you guys the kind of work that I do. If that's something that you're interested in, it's a awesome. I'm like watching Jenna as she works over there. It's great. It's an hour every day on every week on Thursdays at 5:45 Eastern Standard Time. And so it's an hour energy healing. And when you do group healings, you really raise the frequency up higher, because you get to have the energy of the collective, and you can actually raise the frequency of the room so much higher than you can do if you're just working by yourself. So it's really cool. The energy, just the frequency rises, and everybody, you get changed on a cellular level. It's a really cool experience. So, all right, Jenna, let's see.
Oh, I just want to weigh in that I join Elizabeth's healing group as often as I possibly can. I've been really busy lately, but you know, whenever we're really busy and we're really stressed out, that's actually the best time to be joining this healing group, because I never regret it. I always am like, oh man, I'm so glad that I made it to that, because I feel so balanced now. I don't know if y'all have noticed this about me, but I'm kind of like I'm a live wire, y'all. Like I'm a live wire. I'm like a million different places at once. I have a bit of a hyperactive quality to my personality. And sometimes that can get out of balance. You know, I love who it is that I am, but it can become very magnified, and it can become overwhelming if you don't reintegrate and recalibrate into that frequency of oneness and calmness with a collective tribe of aligned frequencies that you aim to sync with, which I absolutely do, you know? And so this is how Elizabeth has absolutely just infused this vibe of just beauty and angelic light into my life. And I'm really excited that she's here with me to bless this card deck today. You guys are going to be feeling some soul tingles real soon here. You just wait.
Yay. Oh, look how beautiful that is.
Isn't that nice? I love
Yeah.
that. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Okay.
Look at
Are
that
we aware of this
geometry.
sacred geometry feature on the front here? Do you
It looks like a oh shoot.
No, it's like on the tip of my tongue. This
Not a
particular,
Merkaba.
maybe someone can help us in the comments
Am I-
about
is it a
who
Merkaba?
this. Let's see. Yeah, Nicole says I need more info on Elizabeth on your energy healing group. I am dropping a link for you right now, Nicole. And we're also going to be dropping that Tarot of Ra too. Bear with me. And you can connect with Elizabeth on Instagram. That is the breadcrumb that I am leaving for all of you to follow. And you can order your Tarot of Ra deck at this next link that I'm dropping. This is a really special deck, you guys. There was only I'm thinking there were only 70 decks made and I got one of them. So I feel incredibly special and blessed that I
That's
get to be.
awesome.
I know it's a limited special edition. And what I was really intrigued about it was that it's like this compilation, this collaborative compilation of so many different guides and spiritual philosophies, all incorporated into one deck, one comprehensive deck. And I feel like our human collective is at this paradigmatic shift where we are infusing so many different concepts into one comprehensive understanding of what it is, what it means to be a human avatar on planet Earth. And so that's why this one, it really excites me.
I'm like, break that seal, get in there.
I know. It's so interesting and different. And I haven't seen a deck like it. And you know me and my decks, and I know you have decks yourself, Elizabeth. We pull cards all the time on our channels. You more on Instagram and me more on Facebook and YouTube, but it's sometimes we pull cards for each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to unwrap.
You can feel
Okay, the packaging is off officially. We are opening the Tarot of Ra.
awesome. Feel
There's
that.
a really, really beautiful feeling about this. This is interesting. Okay.
Gypsy JJ says, I've lit a candle, jade green sunstar candle for the celebration. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Okay. The Tarot World Deck Guidebook. Interesting. Look at the gold. Oh my gosh. It's like blinding me, y'all.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
blinding. It's gorgeous. It
Oh my
has,
gosh. Look at that. That's really pretty.
it's really like, it's something else. Okay. And it begins. Wow. So gilded.
I
I
know.
None of my decks have that gold on the end. It makes
No,
me
neither
feel
do mine.
excited. Okay. So, does anybody have a question before we get started for this collective card pull? Anybody with a question that they would like for a personal card pulled? Let's see. Okay. Need more info. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and jump in then. Elizabeth,
Yeah.
do you have a question?
No, I think you should shuffle them up really good.
Okay.
While
I'm
you're
going to
doing that,
shuffle
I'm
them.
just going to put this energy of selenite just all throughout that deck. And just feel it like flowing through, just really cleansing and clearing all of that deck and really attuning it to you. So we're gonna just put your energy into there and just let that flow so that you can really get in touch with the cards and see what comes out for the collective and do a good collective pull.
Okay.
Let's see, let us know what is in our highest good, your highest good, and the highest good for.
Perfect. The highest good for the collective of humanity at this juncture. That's what we're going for right now.
Yay.
Wow, these cards feel interesting, so different. It's a different deck, you guys. It's a different feel to it than there's not a lot of glossy, the glossiness to a lot of those card decks. This one feels very crisp. It feels very solid. There is a masculine quality to it, which is different and it's unusual. I like it. I have a lot of masculine features in my human design chart. We were just talking about that. And so this is a different experience for a card pull.
I'm loving the gold. It's like connecting me with my pyrite that I have right here.
Oh, I love
And
that.
like, oh, look at that. I'm feeling that charge, that like abundant energy.
Yes, I was actually closing my eyes a minute ago just to connect with the energy.
Mhm.
But now that I have my eyes open and I see that flash of gold, it's so exciting. It makes me like, yeah, every single time. Okay. We have pulled the Queen of Cups, you guys. Let me dim this light just a little bit so that we can get more of a contrast and really see the richness of the colors in this artwork. Queen
Yeah,
of Cups. Look at that. That is interesting. Queen of Cups is one of my favorite of the cards because the Cups suit is all about the element of water and creativity and the divine feminine. And so the queen of that suit, it's like divine feminine on hyperdrive. And what's coming through right now, the fact that I just said that this is like this deck has like a divine masculine energy infusion into it. And the fact that I pulled like one of the most divine feminine of all of the tarot cards out of the deck first is an interesting that's an interesting twist. But what it speaks to
right?
me of is this infusion of the different energies. We have been living in a state of duality for a very long time. And this is part of that paradigm shift, right? This duality that we have to live within this revolving door, going in between these two worlds, back and forth and back and forth, and somehow find the balance between those. And this paradigm shift is really speaking to me of an integration, a reconciliation of those energies into one consciousness, into one experience. And I mean, does that resonate with you? Are you feeling like the melding of energies like in real time? It's super concentrated for me.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it too. I feel like yesterday, I don't even know. My days are so long, like they just sort of blend. So yeah, it was yesterday that we had the call, the mastermind call,
Yes,
and we were talking about.
we
So
were. We were.
yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me of that.
yeah. So it really, yeah, that makes sense to me. And talking about how you do have so many masculine traits and features, and you got that super feminine card. I mean, that's just like balance. Balance
Yeah.
is the
Let's
biggest
clarify because
lesson.
we've been in deep work for the last 4 weeks in that mastermind and for the last several months in your inner circle, Elizabeth. We've been deeply entrenched in this work of really integrating these energies into a semblance of understanding, right? And she's got to run. Okay, so just to define for a moment, for our collective who is tuning in either live or for the replay, let's do a little recap of divine feminine and divine masculine energies, because I do believe that these energies are very much at play in our collective in an abundance of ways. I mean, all you have to do is take a look at what the mainstream media, what social media, what all of these different outlets for human expression and human expansion have to share with us. And there's been a melding of energies all the way around. There's been it's a transitional zone of we're doing our best to make sense of it, but it's like we are having difficulty defining what male and female is, what man and machine is, what these are these differing realms that are kind of blending in with one another, and it's creating a lot of confusion and a lot of triggers and a lot of shadow work even for the collective to embark upon as individuals and as a whole. Would you agree, Elizabeth?
Yeah, definitely. It was funny actually. I did a live with Harrison like last week or the week before, and we started talking about the divine feminine and divine masculine, and then I was like, oh no, I feel like I need to like tell people we're not talking about physical bodies.
Because they're different. It's a different thing altogether. And I think that can be confusing when, it's talked about so openly. So my understanding is this: divine masculine is a very, outward exerting force of energy,
It's
that
action.
from creation perspective, right? And then
Right. So it's sort of like the action part, the
Mhm.
doing, the hustle, the like any sort of like push is really masculine, and it's located in your solar plexus. So your area of empowerment is your um that's your power center. Is very it's very masculine. It's the center that of doing, of getting things done, of accomplishing things.
Task mastering, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And then the divine feminine aspect, I love that you said that you went live with Harrison. I'm really excited to tune into that. Thank you for letting
Yeah,
us know.
great.
Here on my channel, you guys, the Zengen connections for the collective, what it's all about is this interweaving of different human avatars and their deep work on planet Earth. And Elizabeth and I are but two players in this larger web, and Harrison is one as well. And we are, there's just so many weavings in and out of, all of our explorations and all of the things that are fascinating to us, and that we're putting out there in meaningful ways to inspire others to engage in that which is meaningful to them, and to merge their energies with that which calls to them, because we're all different flavors, right? We're all different flavors and experiences for each other to be had, to behold, right? And so that's so cool that y'all were talking about that too. So were he and I. And so
Yeah.
that is definitely a prevalent theme right now. That's what it tells me. The fact that other people other than myself are actively engaging in this, like in real time, that's all the evidence I need that, this is a rippling frequency signature through our collective ether to tap into. And so that's just fascinating. I'm going to read what the guidebook says about the Queen of Cups. Here we
Okay.
go.
And then we're going to talk about feminine.
Yeah. Well, no, why don't you do that first? Let's
Okay.
talk about feminine
So we
before I
talked
read
about the
it.
divine masculine being the doer, the taskmaster, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
Um, and so that's in your solar plexus. So everybody has it, and everybody also has the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is a part of you that really allows you to sit back and to receive. It's really the creative force. It is located in your solar plexus. So like your lower belly, all of your digestive organs are part of the system. And it's the creative, the flow state, when you're really doing anything that you just have that passion and love for, where you get into the flow state. That's really when you're most in your divine feminine. And also sitting back and just being open to receive. So anytime I'm trying to think. Well, I just lost my train of thought. So anytime you're sitting back to be open to receive. So if you think about like having your heart open and it is more of a vulnerable state rather than being like in your power,
Mm.
you're being a little bit more vulnerable. You're being in that divine feminine where you're there to receive and to create. And so do you have anything that you want to add to that?
Absolutely. I have a whole little download that just came through from what you were saying. So I'm hearing that it is a distinction between the doing of the divine masculine and the being of the divine feminine. It's like we all innately are who we are and who we came here to be. This is like, but we're here to receive. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been incarnated on earth. We would have just stayed connected to the oneness that we all innately are, right? But the divine masculine is this different energy of taking all that we have received and projecting it out into the world of the 3D and otherwise. And does that resonate with you?
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Thank
Okay.
you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for keeping me on track, Elizabeth. I knew I needed you here
You
for a
weren't leaving me
reason.
hanging.
No, I get like off on, cloud nine talking, and I get so excited and I lose where it is that we were going.
Me
It's
too, all the time, especially when it's your live. It's like, oh yeah. And I have watched old lives of mine, and then I will go back and I'm like, tomorrow we're going to finish that sentence because that was a good if I had just finished the thought.
Oh my gosh, I love you. You're a girl after my own heart. Love you. Goodness gracious. Okay, are we ready to read it now? It says that the Queen of Cups is serene, and it says, hi, I'm Amphitrite. Amphitrite sounds like Aphrodite, but it's spelled Amphitrite.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of her before, but she's introducing herself. Let's meet Amphitrite. I was born a little naked Nereid, which is a sea nymph. And one day the sea god Poseidon saw me doing a little dance at the shoreline and fell for me. I tried to resist his emissary dolphin diplomat buddy, pleaded so well for him that I decided to take the plunge. It was as easy as osmosis. I am now a goddess of calm seas and safe passage. They say my voice is the only thing that can calm my hubby's rough and mighty rages. I've got that lull power over him for sure. And if you see my card now, remember the 3 C's: compassion, calm, and comfort. I am here to help. I'm as introspective and as intuitive as the high priestess. Almost, it says. I am as reflective as a moonlit lake, a mirror, if you wish. Look at me and see yourself. Turn away from the 3 C's and face murky martyrdom. Irresistible insecurity and on-demand dependence. Yuck on turning away. I'll take the 3 C's any day. Oh my gosh, there was a rhyme. I love it. So cool.
You are the queen of rhymes. So I know
am. I love rhymes. Rhymes are my wheelhouse, and that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous message for the collective. So, according to the Queen of Cups in the Tarot of Ra, we need to focus on those 3 C's: compassion, calm, and comfort. Compassion, calm, and comfort. And I love how it even referenced gosh, I can't say her name. I'm gonna get this, I promise. Amphitrite.
Amphitrite.
So she was born
Aphrodite?
yeah, I know. I keep wanting to say Aphrodite. It sounds and looks like it, but it's spelled differently. She was born a sea nymph, and she ended up marrying the god Poseidon, who was like this raging divine masculine force of nature. And she, little old her, was the only one who could calm his like tempestuous rage. That is so profound, and it speaks to the nature and the strength inherent within what looks like weakness in the divine feminine. That's what it says to me, that the divine feminine is actually running the show. And we know that we know from experience that even the most powerful men have been really like they've been influenced by who it is their woman is, right? And that's something that's an important aspect to keep in mind, that the divine feminine is oftentimes really devalued in Western cultures as the lesser one, the weaker one. And it's why women oftentimes get pushed out of their divine feminine aspect to have more of a divine masculine quality, because it's like in survival mechanism, right? What are you getting? I see you getting a download over there, Lovey.
Well, no, I know. It's just thinking. No, I love that. That's great. I love that card. So no, I was just trying to remember what the three. So calm, comfort, and what?
Compassion. Calm,
Compassion.
compassion, and comfort. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. Okay. Are we
Yeah.
ready for our next card? Let's see if we need to weigh in on, have you been looking at the comments?
Nicole has a question.
Okay. Should I quit my job and focus on my holistic healing business? Great question, Nicole. I have been holding space for this. You're not the only one who's there, Lovey. Like so many people are there. And I remember, what was your last 3D job, Elizabeth? Did you?
Being an esthetician.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a real bougie, like she foo job. Like that wasn't my last 3D job. I can tell you that much. But I love my estheticians though. Don't get me wrong. They've helped me quite a bit with my skin that has posed challenges. But
Mhm.
yeah, like my last
It
3D
just
job.
led right into this. I mean, it really did, because like I had so many clients who would just get on my table and be like, it's time for therapy. So
Right. Yeah, you used your studio for the exact same purposes for
yeah,
your
and so then
esthetician.
I started doing energy work on
Mhm.
my facial clients.
Yep.
And so and it just sort of gatewayed,
Oh, Nicole, one popped out for you.
then a jumper.
The Fool.
Oh,
Yeah. That's actually one of the best cards in the deck too. I'm
yeah,
really
it's such a
excited.
happy card. Yeah.
Oh man, it is. Yeah. I'm going to talk about what I know about the Fool before we read. It says it's Stultus. And there's a tiny piggy next to him. I love piggies. And he has one of those little, look at that. Can you see the little windmill thing, or the little wind turner he's holding?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to not get the glare. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Can you see that? It's, what are they called? Like spin wheels? I had one as a kid. And if
Yeah,
you
I can
blow
see it.
on it, it turns. And this one's red and white. And it looks like the sun on the other side right here is blowing on his little spin wheel.
I love it. I love the artwork.
Oh, I know. I need to plug the artist of this deck. It was a collaboration between Rex Bear and the artist who these are, I believe they're 80 originally commissioned pieces of art. And they're really beautiful, very vibrant colors, and just very well done. But my understanding of the Fool is that you're embarking on like a brave new endeavor. And in some ways, like when the Fool is doing this, they're very childlike. It's from a very naive state, but that's part of the magic. That's part of the magic and the joy and the excitement of embarking on something new. And you might not know what you're doing, but it's like you're going to figure it out. And there's going to be initiation periods all along the way. And some of them ain't going to be easy, and some of them ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to get you ready for that which is for your highest good, that which you align with as a human with your finite time here on this planet. That is to be respected and approached with, great fervor and light and excitement, even though there might be times when you feel like you're about to like walk off a cliff. That's my understanding of the Fool. Do you have your own interpretation of the Fool card before I read out of this guidebook, Elizabeth?
No, I love what you said. And that's what I do feel like it's such a happy card. It's a card of excitement, and it's a card of like taking the jump, kind of.
Yes. Ooh, I like that. Taking the leap.
Yeah.
You have to leap, or else you're never going to get off the rock.
Right.
Oh, wow. And that reminds me of a really amazing is it a Terrence McKenna quote? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can remember it. Oh my gosh. It's like coming through, but the words aren't there yet. You know what I'm saying? You know the feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling of the words not being there.
Okay, so it's like when you take that leap and you expect the worst, but you realize that you land on a feather bed. You take
Ooh, I
the
love
leap
that.
and you expect to like fall to your death. You know, it's scary. It's like traumatizing even in its own way. But what ends up happening, like your reward for taking that leap is you land on a feather bed. You leap into the abyss. That's the quote. That you leap into the abyss, into the darkness, into the uncertainty of what it is you aim to do. And
Mhm.
it ends up being,
Yeah,
so much
like,
better
no
than
big
what you
deal.
expected.
No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's its own reward. You
Actually,
need
quite
that.
amazing. Actually, better than no big deal. Like amazing.
Yes,
Like I want to
exactly.
go lay on a feather bed right now. Just lay on one. I
I
don't need
love
to jump
you.
into the abyss.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
It's been like a couple weeks. This week has been great, but it's just been like fast. Like I told Jenna earlier, we hopped on a call and I told her, I was like, I thought it was Monday. And it's Friday.
Oh boy, some of the symptoms of remaining in your divine feminine aspect, you lose root with reality. That's me. That's okay though. It's, it
Yeah,
comes with its beauty too.
I did. I
So
thought it was Monday. I almost put Happy Monday on a um story in Instagram.
that would have been hilarious.
Amazing.
Oh boy, I would have given you some hand clapping emojis, Elizabeth. That would have been great. We would have had a laugh, a little moment. I'm a
Yeah.
little confused, and I'm hoping that either the artist or Rex can weigh in on the replay. But so do you see this area down here? It says Stultus, the fool. Whenever
Mhm.
I go to the fool in the guidebook, it says, "Hi, I'm Icarus." So the way I'm seeing this guidebook is that each card is a person introducing themselves, a person that is an embodiment of the energy that the card is presenting. And I love that. That's neat. It kind of speaks to what we were talking about with the collective connections that we are facilitating and we are nurturing for our collective to benefit from, each individual their own energetic frequency signature to behold and to be had by others and to benefit from, right? So
Mhm.
that's kind of how this is laid out too, and I love it. It says, "Hi, I'm Icarus. I grew up on the island of Crete, surrounded by all that oceanic beauty associated with Greece. If you see my card now, it's all about new beginnings." That is perfect for Nicole. That is perfect. New beginnings. She just opened up her holistic healing shop, you guys. And this is her, this card was pulled for her, but it might be speaking to you as well. So if you see my card now, it's all about new beginnings, easy innocence, and free spirit.
Yes.
My dad, Daedalus, says I should be more, oh, let's see if I can pronounce this one. Sophrosine, Sophrosyn, Sophrosine. My dad, Daedalus, says I should be more Sophrosine and not such a fool, reckless and inconsiderate, and sure to be taken advantage of. Yikes. And I sure should have listened to him when he told me not to fly too close to the sun. That's who Icarus is. Now I remember. I think, yeah, okay. I should have listened to him when he told me not to fly too close to the sun. Very interesting. You've heard of wax on, wax off, right? Oh, that's from Karate
Right.
Kid. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I'm doing it.
You
I'm like,
see how it's like infusing like all these different aspects, all these different things. It makes me so happy. You heard of wax on, wax off. Well, in this case, it was tubular wax off only. I'm ruled by the planet Uranus, the awakener, and sudden changes and shocks are what keep me free. You know, dude, my number is 0. And I got to tell you that some infinite agenda, potential, and choice, man, that's what the number 0 represents, infinite potential. So what I'm hearing also expressed through the energies of the Fool here for Nicole and for anyone else that this resonates with is that the number 0 representing infinite potential, right?
Mhm.
It could have really positive outcomes, or it could have some really difficult moments, you know, and things that are going to challenge you to the nth degree.
It's probably gonna have
And
both.
say, or it's probably going to have both, right? You're absolutely right, Elizabeth. I would say count on it. But at the same time, anything that's worth doing, it's never easy. And I think it comes down to searching your heart for the right answer of, is this what you really want? Is this, because it's going to be a long journey. It's not for the faint of heart. You might start out with naivety, but you're going to come out of this a seasoned individual with a lot of expertise and know-how and wisdom that's going to come at a cost. But it all does, you know, to do anything meaningful in this world, it does come at a price. And we need to merge ourselves with that wholeheartedly, or else we ain't going to make it. That's what I'm hearing. What are you hearing, Elizabeth?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And it makes me like flash to when I decided to take this road as my full-time job. And, and it's just that like, yeah, Nicole just put in the comments like, yes, like, yes. Oh my God, sorry, y'all.
Yes, I feel
But
it
it is like,
too.
yes. And it's like, here we go, and but it's such an adventure and it's one that I wouldn't change for the world,
Oh yeah, for
regardless
sure.
of all the learning.
Like 100%. And honestly, what I would say is this: when I left my 3D job, it was not under very easy circumstances. I kind of felt like I was like flying into the sun. Like no joke. I did. I felt like I was, I mean, honestly, maybe that metaphor doesn't work, because flying into the sun, I think, has to do with hubris and ego. And like you get so like high as a kite on your own ego that you burn yourself up, right? You keep going too close to that bright illumined lightness. I honestly felt like I was falling into a dark hole.
I was
Like,
like, that doesn't sound like you.
no, it was terrible. Like but it was weird also. Like I had a nervous breakdown back in 2014 where I had to leave my job because it was causing me so much stress that it was actually taking its toll on my physical body. I nearly ended up
This
in the
is your
hospital.
last 3D job?
Yeah, I was the equivalent of like a social worker.
Oh
Or
yeah.
yeah, and it was, you would think that it would be the individuals that I was serving. Yeah, I was hit, I was bit. My computer was thrown across the room and like crashed into the wall right next to my head. Like crazy stuff happened where I used to work. But that was all from the residents that I was serving. That wasn't even the worst of it. The worst of it was the other workers. I am telling you the truth, that it was like a darkness that was consuming me. I'll get into that on another live at some other point in time. But what I will say is that whenever I left that job, I was very afraid. And I had uncertainty about the future. I didn't know how we were going to pay for everything. I didn't know how it was all going to work. But there was something in my core, deep inside my core, it was like my navigation compass. And I knew this was the right thing. I knew it. It was the right thing that I needed to be doing right then, even though it felt very uncomfortable on the surface, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. And if I hadn't left, who knows where I would be right now? I wouldn't be here with all of you beautiful humans. And so now I can see, like, yeah, it was the right thing. You know, I had to go through a whole heap of caca in order to get here, but it was worth it. It was worth every initiation along the way. So I hope that answers your question, Nicole. I know it's not all love and light, my dearie, but you know, it's this work is not for the faint of heart, but I know you have it in you to make it happen. I'm so proud of you and all that you've accomplished this week.
And you're doing the right thing and surrounding yourself with other healers and surrounding yourself with other people that are doing something similar, even if different, but along the same vein. And connecting with Jenna is a great, just over the top. I mean, it's just neat. I've met the coolest people through Jenna. So my mom's here. Amazing. My mom's
You gotta
here.
go.
Yeah, so I've got what she does because I am on the computer all the time, so she just shows up.
Girl, I know, I get it. It's totally fine. I loved having you here today. I'm going to pull one more card for the collective, and you can tune into the replay later. If any of you want to connect with Elizabeth and receive the healing frequencies that she has available every single week for our collective, I hope that you will follow that breadcrumb. I've left her link to connect with her on Instagram in the comments in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And DM me the word healing too, and I will give you an opportunity to come and experience one of my healings.
Oh, they get to show up for free? They can show up for free with the healing word? Ooh, use the code word, y'all. Don't delay.
Well, just DM me the word healing and I will give you the one free pass. And then, to join, it's just $111 a month, and you get literally weekly live healings. You're on a call and you get to be in the energy of the collective, and it's so powerful. So it's less than $27 a week.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are a frequent investor in your own self-healing, this is quite an opportunity. You might see me in the room. I show up whenever I'm able to because of everything that it brings into my orbit. And Elizabeth hit the nail on the head. It's who we are surrounding ourselves with through this epic journey of becoming and of syncing with who it is that we innately are, that's going to make all the difference in all your dreams come true in the way that you already envisioned. I love you, Lovey. I'll see you later.
Love you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, she is such a blessing. We're going to pull one more card for the collective, though. I feel one more card calling out to me. Does anybody in our room have a desire for a card? Anybody have a desire for a card? Who's in the room with me? I mean, this can just be for the collective, but I would love for it to be for someone specific. Huge blessings that your mommy is there with you in person. Please hug her for me. Oh, Gypsy, that is so sweet. I love that. I love that. Yeah, my mommy shows up sometimes when she needs to merge her orbit with mine, and she doesn't know my schedule, and so she'll just pop on by. And a lot of it is also just about being authentic, about being a human on planet Earth. You know, we're exiting this paradigm of having to present and perform in some way that I think it's not really resonating with people. People want to connect with other humans like them, other humans that have been through the thick of it. And they are craving that authenticity, that transparency, that, you know, they have challenges, you know, the people that they aim to sync energies with and resonate with, they want to know that, you know, they are something like them. And I think that's a really important aspect of our shift in paradigm on planet Earth. That's something that we're moving into actively as we speak. So I'm going to pull a card for you, Gypsy. That is divine, just divine. We are going to have 3 cards pulled out of the Tarot of Ra as a complimentary gift from Rex Bear from Leap Project. I hope that you will grab that link in the comments if this deck has spoken to you as much as it's speaking to me. Gosh, this gold is something else, y'all. It is just flashing. I'm going to keep seeing it flashing in my mind's eye field of vision long after this card pull is done. I can feel it. It's powerful. There's something really special here. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh boy, interesting. What an interesting deck and pull for the collective today. Here we go. We have the Hermit, and I'm like in love with this image. This image, it speaks to me. It speaks to me of the East. It speaks to me of like the Far East. I don't know if this guy is like an ascetic. Like he almost has like that top knot of the samurai going on there. I'm curious what character this is. It says eremita. I'm guessing that is Latin. That's going to be my guess. That some of these words like stultus or eremita, these are like Latin words, possibly. Like on the Queen of Cups, it just says queen. I'm curious why that distinction is made, but that's okay. These colors are something else too. Like there's something about the murky sea green here, but it's also in the mountains. It's up high in the mountains. And there's this, you know, the lantern that the hermit holds, that's your inner light that whenever you go into a state of solitude, it brightens. And that's because the lantern or your inner light is brightest whenever you are in the depths of your own darkness. And that's what this is symbolizing here. And there's times in our lives whenever we do need to retreat. We do need to go into our own cavernous inner workings of ourself, to kind of discover all that is there to be had, because we lose sight of it along the way while doing all of the things, while merging with all of the divine masculine, right? Going inward, venturing into like as a sojourner of your own truth, that is a very divine feminine quality that it's essential to be successful, because otherwise you're not going to be a vessel for anything that speaks to you. It's going to be you being filled up by the external world. Does that make sense? So the Hermit, it's a very it's really merging with that concept of solitude and of that inner work that is it's necessary for all of us at every given juncture along the way. I don't care if you're like a millionaire who is like made all of your dreams come true, or if you're homeless and living on the street. This inner work is necessary, and it's important for all of us at different steps along the way. It's been kind of like that revolving door, back and forth between like doing that external work, that internal work, that external work, that internal work, kind of like we were talking about at the beginning of this card pull, between those two energies. But there is this merging that's happening, this reconciliation that's taking place, that whenever we bring about the Hermit card alongside this card, things get really interesting, right? And then we have this card that is, it's showing the distinction in the relationship between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So I'm seeing a thread of semblance that is weaving for us to look closely at here. And I'm going to go ahead and read what the Hermit card has in store for us. There's one other distinction between, we've pulled two of the major arcana cards. Those are the most potently charged cards out of the entire deck of 80. I'm trying to remember. I want to say there might be like 24. I could be wrong. Someone correct me in the comments. I'm trying to remember how many major arcanas. And then this one, it's one of the higher ups of the minor arcanas. The queens, the kings, the pages, and the knights. Those are kind of like the upper echelon of the minor arcana cards. And this Hermit card, though, it feels very different. It feels almost like the stark opposite of this one, which speaks to me of this this merging of concepts, how we can be an embodiment of more than one aspect simultaneously. And that's kind of what's happening in our collective right now, just like we were talking about. It's absolutely fascinating. So moving on, let's see what the hermit has to say out of the book of Ra. All right, moving. I'm wondering if the major arcanas are in the beginning or the end, because I'm almost at the end. And yeah, they must be at the beginning. Here we go. All right, let's see here. Okay, yes. And it is number 9. Yes, I turned right to the page. Crazy cool. Okay. The hermit, contemplative. Hi, I'm Buddha. This guy's Buddha. Buddha's talking to us, y'all. I was born the son of a wealthy king in the Himalayan foothills. If you see my card now, the Siddhartha Gautama card, I read Siddhartha, and it's a beautiful novel. Very easy, quick read, but it'll change your life. I guarantee it. You'll notice that I am an abstinent hermit. Yes, I had to leave the luxury of the palace on a quest for truth. Oh, I'm just going to sit with that a minute. Having to leave the palace on a quest for inner truth. So what he had to abstain from and what he had to forsake in order to take on his hermitage was riches from the 3D world, abundance and fortune and a high birthright. He was a prince that was born with every given indulgence that you could imagine, and he had to walk away from that all. I'm going to merge in a different spiritual philosophy of Christianity right now and reference that scripture from the Bible and say that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. I don't believe my personal spiritual philosophy is not about entering heaven or hell after one dies for all eternity. That just has never resonated with me. But I do believe that the kingdom of heaven is something that we can experience different aspects of here on earth, just as we can experience aspects of hell as well. And this reference to a prince born with everything at his fingertips, like literally a silver spoon in his mouth, he has to walk away from that all. And you can only imagine how difficult that is, to renounce his birthright, his everything that he has at his fingertips. It's much more difficult for someone like him to do that than someone who's born, in the dregs, in the gutter with nothing, and to work their way up. Do you see the distinction? And so reading on here, I had to leave the luxury of the palace on a quest for truth, inner guidance, and contemplation. Ruled by Mercury, I found suffering and slid into loneliness, isolation, and truly lost the way. I've been there, I know it. But I happened sitting under a fig tree one day. I thought it was a Bodhi tree, but that's okay. That's just, maybe it's a tomato thing, whatever. It happened sitting under a fig tree one day, contemplating everything that I experienced nirvana. And so whenever moving back to sliding into loneliness, isolation, and losing your way, this is what is likened as the dark night of the soul in, the new age philosophy. The dark night of the soul, that is where your lantern shines the brightest. You see, whenever you are in the depths of despair, this is the point at which you are able to see the stark contrast of your inner light. Okay, making sense? Is it resonating? It's resonating with me deeply. I woke from a deep meditation with a plan, and I wrote down some sutras. Being the careful Virgo that I am, and having a deep sense of humanity, I began anew. 9 is my number. Oh, I've been seeing 9 all over the place, you guys. My number's always been 444. I see 44, 4 all over the place normally, but lately it's been 9. So this is really resonating with me. It means that you're at the end of a chapter. You're at the end of something that has been really tumultuous. It's been really challenging, but you're at the very brink of making sense of all of it. Okay. I began anew. 9 is my number. So I've got wisdom and responsibility as my ultimate goals. So there was no stopping me on my new middle path. That's beautiful, y'all. I remember from my studies in ancient Eastern religions, reading a book by Matsuo Basho, I believe, called Narrow Road to the Deep North. And this is going to really sum up our card pull today in a beautiful way. So sync up with me now. Matsuo Basho, The Narrow Road to the Deep North. It speaks of walking that middle line of moderation. No longer do we need to turn between in the revolving door between the divine masculine, the divine feminine. No longer do we need to choose either the forces of evil or the echelons of light, right? We don't need to distinctify between those two things as an either or situation. What this lantern of our inner light provides us is illumination of the way forward, which is on the middle road. And we don't need to teeter and totter on this side or that side any longer. We don't need to be harnessed down in that focal point of duality, which is how even our brains are designed, right? With the left and the right hemisphere. Humanity is undergoing this epic shift right now, and epic shifts and transformations, they're painful. I want you to conjure up the imagery of that of a butterfly and how a butterfly comes to be. It's not a pretty process. I've actually helped my kids to hatch chrysalises. We have this butterfly festival out here in Wimberley, Texas, and they will send you home with chrysalises so that no matter where you hail from in the world, if you come to the butterfly festival, you can go home with a chrysalis and you can watch that butterfly emerge. When it first comes out of that chrysalis, though, its wings are wet and it's incredibly vulnerable and it really can't do much of anything at all, and it might not survive. Some of them don't even exit out of the chrysalis at all. They die while they're in utero, which is a very sad thing to explain to a 7-year-old. They're waiting for their butterfly to hatch. But you know, these are important concepts that we need to keep in mind as we embark on our ways forward and we align with that which is in our highest good. We have to stay aligned with our innermost compass, which is our inner light. We have to retreat into that hermit ascetic lifestyle, not so much in a literal sense, but we do need our sanctuary to revive and recalibrate and replenish our soul with the light that we innately are, that we arrived here with, y'all. And we also need to take risks. We need to take risks and we need to take that leap. And we need to expect that it's not going to be all dewdrops and rosebuds along the way. You know, it's going to be a difficult terrain sometimes that we have to navigate with the most precision and the most discernment that we have accumulated thus far. And we have to remember that just because an energy might appear or is presented by a society as weak, it might actually hold the key to all the power. In referencing the Bible, again, the meek shall inherit the earth. This has been in my mind's eye for quite some time. We're at this paradigm shift right now where it's a pendulum swinging back to the other direction. We've been in this divine masculine hyperdrive for a really long time. And this emphasis on the divine feminine is coming back into play. It's really resonating with people to go on that inward journey and to find their inner light again and stop looking into the external world for all of the answers. While at the same time, we do have a human life to live, and we need to align ourselves with our highest good and what our greater purpose is here while we are here. Because one thing is for certain, we are in this body for a finite period of time. And if you don't do what thou wilt with it, it's going to wither away, yo. And that is something that a lot of people experience. If you look at I think they're called centenarians, the people who are 100 years old or more. One of the common threads that they will tell you whenever they are asked, what would you do over again? Like, they have a lot to say about how it is that they connected with their family and how it is they connected with themselves. And they say, I'd spend less time working, I'd spend less time worrying, I'd spend less time complaining, I'd spend less time gossiping. All of that is like so not even important. And the amount of time that I allocated to it just makes me cringe. I would have spent so much more time doing this. Doing the inner work, doing the work with family, connecting with those who are meaningful, just like Elizabeth and I were talking about, keeping those in your orbit who resonate with you. Your intuitive gifts are strengthening. That is a given. I guarantee you, your intuitive extrasensory abilities are strengthening, because this is strengthening for our interconnected collective. We're developing these connections on planet Earth that have never before happened. We have this potential to connect in these ways that were never before available to any of our ancestors just a few decades ago, and on into millennia into the past. And I want you to sit with that for a minute. And I want you to consider that connecting with so many energies from people from all over the planet and even beyond, that, there are new realms opening up to you to explore, not only on the outside, but on your inside, where it counts, because you are a universe in and of yourself. And you are this sojourner that is responsible for navigating and being like that pioneer to this new terrain that you have yet to discover. So I really thank you for joining me on this incredible experience. This was such an incredible experience with the Tarot of Ra. Thank you to Rex Bear from Link Project for gifting me with this powerful, illuminating card deck. I am really in awe of this collaborative co-creation of you with this artist, who I'm going to plug here in the comments. I don't know the person, but kudos and compliments to the writing style of all of these different human avatar energies of speaking directly to the reader. It's a beautiful, beautiful merging. I'm really, really appreciative of this experience. And if you're interested in connecting with me further for a connection sesh where I can pull cards for you from the Tarot of Ra deck, or my plethora of other Oracle and Tarot decks that will resonate with you in the way that you align with your spiritual philosophy and the energies rippling through the ether, I encourage you to follow the breadcrumbs. I've left you a lot of links today. I've left you a lot of links, a lot of breadcrumbs for you to align as you see fit, to interweave the threads of semblance and synchronicity of what it is that spoke to you today and how it is you aim to merge with your collective. I thank you so much for joining me. Let's check the comments here. That's okay, Elizabeth. That's okay. Oh my goodness. It was such a gift to have you on today. Ah, yes. Join Elizabeth's healing. Purchase your deck today if the Tarot of Ra spoke to you. It's certainly speaking to me. and join me for a connection sesh. I would love to tap into your energy field. I would love to give you some insights into all it is that you are embarking upon on your human avatar journey. This is Zen Jen signing off.